Podcast. I'm Shane, and is with me as always is Trey.
Yes, sir. We are back again with another edition of the West Coast Podcast. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and the continued support. Actually, these podcasts over the last few weeks, we've had a lot of engagement. Shout out to Rose, always been being in the building, and we got Trey Jr. that was with us last podcast. Hope you guys are doing well though, and few other lurkers here and there as we push on getting into December. The holiday season is definitely upon us. I gotta do some shopping. I'm procrastinating on that like always, but that's kind of the way it is, sadly. But other than that, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know Shane has been grinding, doing his thing on the YouTube side. He was streaming earlier today, even, so he's definitely been more consistent on that. And we're going to try to get you guys a podcast every other Friday, so at 10:30 p.m. Pacific time. If anything changes in the schedule or we have to postpone anything, we'll let you know. Shane will let you know on the community tab on what's the ins and outs on that are. But anyway, Shane, how have you been doing? How is have you got a little bit of Christmas shopping done? Or are you still kind of a ways away from that right now?
You know what, Trey? Honestly, bro, I almost forgot what I was talking about when we started the podcast, dude. My old butt forgot what I was talking about and thinking. So I'm glad that I remembered to say the West Coast Podcast at the intro. So my apologies on that. No, I haven't, bro. I've been all right, man. I've been just steadily making videos, well, shorts, and then also streaming as much as possible. There was a Mutt League that I wanted to do this month, and unfortunately, I had to pass because it starts like Monday, and during the month of December and the first week of January is like really, really hectic for me. I know it is for everyone else, but like even after Christmas stops, like the 26th is my sister-in-law's birthday, and then you got New Year's Eve and all that. So I decided to pass on that, but I am planning on you guys in January and February and March doing tournaments and just trying to keep playing through spring, and then get with you, Trey, and try to do some fun things on Madden as a group. And then also maybe possibly get down to Fall Guys to have some fun and relaxation late spring, early summer. And then I'll probably take like a month off before the new Madden. But no, I haven't, honestly, to answer your question, bro. I haven't even started Christmas shopping yet, bro. We will definitely start Christmas shopping probably after this weekend, and it'll be hectic. Myself, I order a lot of stuff online because it's just easier that way now, right? It's easier that way, and it just makes it go faster, Trey. For me personally, what about you?
Yeah, no, definitely ordering online is the way to go. I mean, like going out and shopping because, like in my area, I mean, it doesn't get too crazy, but because you yourself, you've been in definitely a more populated area, and I mean, the good thing about that is there's a lot more options, right? There's a lot more stores that you can go to and visit and things of that nature. But I do want to know, like, back in the day, I don't know if you like went Christmas shopping in person, like when online. I mean, online shopping has always been a thing. Well, maybe when you were coming up, it wasn't a thing because you're like 50 years old, but you know what I mean. So like, does it get pretty hectic shopping? Like, does that like make you anxious? Is like shopping when there's like a million people around and everything?
No, man, it doesn't bug me like anxious wise. It's just like, I mean, I used to like it, but like the wife likes to mainly take over, so it's like, dude, I only got like a few people in the family that I actually Christmas shop for. So, and then obviously the wife, and I do it online. So I mean, other than that, like it didn't it doesn't really make me anxious, like if you ask that, and it just makes me like I only got a few things, so might as well get it all done at once. You know what I mean? I mean, it never bugged me. It was cool to Christmas shop in person, but like we just kind of wait. Um, Jess and I, which is my wife, to go Christmas shopping, and then she likes to do the majority, and I try to give her some ideas. But other than that, no, man, it doesn't make me anxious like that, bro.
Yeah, no, I got you. So, is there any like Christmas traditions? Because I know for me, we don't really do that anymore, but I remember when I was growing up, one of the traditions that we had was, we would like drive around and see like all the different, Christmas decorations that people had up on their lawns and everything like that. So, is there any like traditions that you guys have at the Shane Got You 11 household?
What's first of all, what's up, Rose? How are you doing tonight? Always good to see you, Rosie Rose in the building. I honestly have tried to make more traditions as I've gotten older. Um, like for Halloween, we drove around. Well, I drove around with the youngest and the oldest, and at times my wife to look at the Halloween lights. And with Christmas, basically I try to do some Christmas lights sightseeing. I've done a couple times with the little one. You know, he's little, keep the magic going as long as you can, right, till the wheels fall off. And then, like, just when we put up the Christmas tree, which we haven't yet, which I'm planning on this following Monday, we basically just go buy hot chocolate, marshmallows, put some Christmas music on, and then put the tree up and try to watch like a show that's a movie, like either like even if it's 30 minutes of like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or Charlie Brown, but we usually do that for Christmas. What about you? Anything that you plan on doing as a family?
Yeah, no, not really. I don't want to say that it's like just another day because it's definitely not because like I'm still around family, things like that, and of course, we get around, we watch the football games, and I don't know if this year because I know they're gonna have a triple header. I mean, it's the same thing what they did on Thanksgiving, and it was on Netflix. I remember last year the games were on Netflix, so I wonder if it's gonna be on Netflix now. I think I tried looking into it, but I couldn't really tell what streaming service it was gonna be on. But I thought that the NFL on Netflix last year wasn't. I know that the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson Mike Tyson fight was a crap show because of constant glitching, but I thought the NFL games were pretty smooth on it. But I think Rose is in the building. Shane, I'm thinking that we should like make Rose like a part of the podcast somehow. Like we need to find a way to like include her into the podcast. It could be like the West Coast Rose podcast or something because she's always here and she actually brings a lot to the podcast. You know.
Definitely, she needs to like bring some tidbits or something that we can share online, or if she ever gets comfy down the road, be on the stream with us podcast. Rose said, "My bad, you missed your stream earlier. I had a long day running errands with work on top of it." Nah, Rose, yo, honestly, Rose, you're always in here. Like you're like super consistent, so I appreciate it. But yeah, we need to figure out how to get you a little bit incorporated with bringing some like tidbits or something like that, or something you want to share, like even if you just want to post it in chat, you know what I mean? So definitely do that. Yeah, it's weird, man. Like for me, Trey, though, just thinking about Christmas, man, it's like it's just so busy for me, man, because like it was like Christmas Eve is like all day thing for me at like my parents this year, right? So we'll get home late, and then Christmas morning we'll have my own at my family, and then Christmas Day afternoon we'll be at my in-laws. So that'll be a late night, and then the 26th will be my sister-in-law. It's like a long 3 days, especially for the little one. you don't want to take away from what we started. Nah, we don't care if you add stuff or if you want to join once in a while. You got to make one stream. We appreciate it, Rose. But yeah, so basically, Trey, like, oh, going to a Madden part. Have you by chance gotten any Christmas presents yet, bro?
Nah, bro. Honestly, you're like way into mud, and it's kind of funny to me because like watching you over the course of like the years because I think probably like 2 3 years ago I was really big into Ultimate Team, and I mean the Christmas presents were something that I would look forward to, and then I would open them up on Christmas, and then I mean it's not like I didn't think that there were times that I opened up the presents and that they were necessarily bad, but it's definitely not like, oh, I woke up and I got a fucking, oh, sorry, I got a new Deion Sanders or whatever the new card is, you know what I mean? So, I am interested, like, because I know like the zero chill, right? That's kind of like the stuff that the promo that's been going on has been going on for years. So I mean, like, and you're probably more up. You're up to date on it more than me at this point. So is there still like, are they still doing like the Bo Jackson? Have you seen any Bo Jacksons that are at every positions? Is that still a thing?
It is crazy, Trey, because like I was mainly regs, but like until the last few years, but like I just had to adapt, bro. Like all the money, all the tournaments for the main part are on MUT, and I'm sure there's like Players Lounge, Gamers Saloon, they do regs, but the bigger ones, at least what guys in the crew have told me, are usually on MUT. But yeah, so basically, like I said, I've poured it in this year, like, because I'm planning on trying to make money when MCS is done, anyways, with MUT. Um, Also, good work, Rose, on your Super Bowl. But nah, man, right now it is zero chill. Um, I definitely got some packs. I have a real good squad. I can't lie, Trey. Because like I said, I told you this at the start of the year that I was gonna go all in and try to make money any way I can, even if it's streaming a lot or if I win some money games or if I do well in a tournament. But nah, man. So basically, there is no Bo Jackson and there's no out of position players yet. I'm assuming they're waiting on that this year. I'm not entirely sure, but on the Christmas packages, honestly, bro, I think I have already. I have two LTDs, which is cool. One of them is Frozen Yeti, and then I can't find the other one, man. Oh, Jolly Comet. So those are the two that I've gotten so far. Rose is really good at letting me know. I think she told me one was Tyreek Hill, but that's where I am basically at, Trey. Like, dude, I just like I said, man. This year and next year, I am definitely gonna go all in on Madden and see where it lands me. Either get popular streaming or do money games and tournaments, bro, on MUT or whatnot. But go out swinging like Babe Ruth, right? Um, the one thing that pissed me off about EA, bro, is like they put on Deion Sanders, right, and Shadir Sanders, and if you buy them, you get a +1 speed. And the thing that happened is they basically put that out, and then 3 or 4 days later they came out with zero chill, and the Sanders didn't even matter. But the Sanders to buy them together was like, I don't know. Some said it was like 1,500, but it did not cost me 1,500 to get both Sanders. It cost me like a couple hundred to be honest, which is still like ridiculous. And then I recouped it enough by being able to sell them. But like for a while they're at like 5 million, Trey, and they did this earlier this year with the crystals, and then like 2 3 days later they came out with something even crazier, and it made the crystals still kind of good because they need the +1 even to this day, but like made it not as crazy as you thought you would have, if that makes sense, Trey. And Rose said she's like 15-5 in her last 20 games. Oh, it wasn't your Super Bowl? You beat someone in the Super Bowl? I get it. I get it. That's what's up, though. 15-5 is really good. So, Trey, update me on this. Are you just playing regs, or are you just not playing that much anymore on Madden, or what's it? What's info?
Yeah, no, yeah, no question. So it's definitely the inverse, Shane. I mean, like when we first started hanging out, I was the mud guy and you were the regs guy, and it's definitely flipped. I don't think I've touched Ultimate Team at all, but it's mostly just been like playing regular teams and doing stuff on Players Lounge, and I'm pretty honestly. It's been a lot more college football this year for me, I would say. Um, I play college football 26, and for some reason I'm like really good on that game. Like I have a record of like 80 wins and only 9 losses. So, and like 4 national championships. So that's just kind of what I've been up to. But no, I'm definitely a lot more casual with it these days. Um, but no, it's interesting because you were telling me even going back as far as like the summer of last year, you were like, Trey, this year I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna be a whale this year. Um, I'm gonna have the best team at every position. I mean, you've been saying that for a long time, and then we're in December right now, and lo and behold, you absolutely do have the best team in the game. Well, I don't know if it's the best team, but it's pretty close. I mean, I was looking at your team, and you have like, I think it was like a 93 overall, and you had like, and even with that, you had like 500K just laying there. So, I mean, for all intensive purposes, you do have the best team um, in Ultimate Team. So, you definitely did what you said you were gonna do on that, but my question to you is that now that you did do all that, like what were your expectations? Do you think that you set out what you had in mind of accomplishing with the whale? And if you knew now what you knew back then, do you think you would still be a whale and still have the best team, or do you think you would have just did the same thing as normal?
To answer that, hey, real quick, Trey. So you're doing players on money games for college football or Madden, and then I'll answer your questions.
Yeah, so I do both on college football and Matt. College Players Lounge college football. College football is a little bit tough because of the stadium pulse. That makes it tough, especially when the guy's a host. I think that Players Lounge should have that feature off, to be honest, if you're playing for money. But yeah, it's both.
Where's the streams, bro?
Oh, oh yeah, you want me to start streaming? Yeah, I'll get back into streaming for you
Yo, bro,
on
yeah,
that.
that's interesting, man. I like it. I like it because if you're on and I can watch them. No, Rose said EA agreed. She would have told me don't buy the Sanders because no card's worth 3 million, maybe 1 million, but not 3 million. And then she said, "Yeah, Trey Shane's flexing on us, Mr. Moneybags. Give EA the blank check." Honestly, so to answer you guys' questions, right? I This may sound dumb, right? This may sound really dumb to you guys, but I'm gonna try to explain it. So when I started this last summer, Trey, and I said I'm gonna be a whale, right? I'm gonna be a whale. My main reason, honestly, was so there's no excuses in my head. There is no excuses. I cannot be like, oh, well, it's because I didn't have a good enough team. So that's why I lost the game. I didn't want any excuses, you guys. Zero, zip, nada. And yes, what I have noticed is when you have better cards, there will be randomly more people watching you than when you have less cards. They might not talk, and I'll just say this, they might not talk, they may lurk, but when you rip open the new promos, you get more people in for a while. So it has helped the streaming aspect. Like, obviously I'm small, like it's not that like I'm like, oh yeah, I got humongous, but it went from like a couple to every stream to like 4 to 7 off and on, and sometimes 8, 9. And also it does help you guys regardless, because during MCS, like, it you need a really good team because most of the top players have the best players. And I've preached this even before I was a whale this year, and before anything I told you, Trey, I've told you, Rose, I've told everyone, don't let any pro say top players in the game don't matter. They matter. That's why they have the best team. Yes, it's cool to rip packs and all that stuff, but at the same time, they know what's where their bread is buttered, okay? And so for me, like, would I've done this again? Would I've done what I've done now at the start if I knew, like, oh, Shane, you didn't win any tournaments, you didn't make any tournaments, but I've made smaller wins on certain things, and I've also made a little bit of a leap on streaming, and I've won some smaller money games and tournaments. So to me, it is a win, even though I spent more than I normally would in the years past, except I think, like, what was it, Trey, 2020, I believe. But yeah, I'm gonna do it next year. I'm gonna find a way anyways. I will go basically real cheap, um, for myself, not for my family, but for myself, from like April to July of next year. And then when the new game comes out, I'll do the same thing. But yeah, my team's pretty good, bro. And like, yeah, I have 4.5 million sitting in the bank right now, Trey.
Yeah, no, that's definitely insane. I mean, like, whatever. If Bo Jackson does come out, you could probably afford him on the first day, which is kind of wild. And I guess, like, since we're on the topic, do you think that because you have the best team that for aesthetics reasons, like, do you kind of see yourself like loading up Madden and then going into these games and kind of being like, I don't want to say like you're like a bully with it. You're like, my team is so much better than you and I'm gonna dominate you type of thing. But just play competitive play, like when you just play like head to head or whatever. Like, is there like something? Is there like something in you to where like you kind of feel like braggadocious because you have the best team, and then you're gonna like beat up people with it, or not really? Not.
Um, Not like, how do I answer this? So if somebody was like, you only beat me because you have a great team, right? I would probably say yes if I thought that was true, right? So if I was a 90, what am I, a 93 overall, and I'm playing an 89 overall, and I win by like 7 or less, and he said that, I'd agree. You know how a lot of people will say like, no, that's not the reason. I'll be honest, but at the same time, it really shows, Trey. Like, sorry, I tripped. Like, it really does matter having these players. Like, when I play other people, at least on my levels, even when I'm loading up into head-to-head rank, bro, like, they're putting me against like really good players, right? Well, most of these really good players have these players. They have these teams. I've just kind of caught up to them this year, and it definitely makes a difference. Like, I'm literally sitting at 16-6, head to head for the new season, and I've played about, I think, like 5 pros just in 22 games because I'm in their level now. And I played OG 2K, which is really popular player, top 30. Rose knows who that is. I was down I think 14-0. I adjusted, came back, and like barely lost or lost by 7, I think. I can't remember. 21-15. So Trey, like, yeah, if I would have had a worse team, bro, I would have gotten blown out. So teams matter, and it just makes it easier, right? There's no excuses. It doesn't piss me off because, like, if you have, like, for example, if I have Chad Johnson, which is a 97 overall, Trey, right? Which everyone I'm playing right now is like they have it on my level, but let's say it's like the year before or 2 years prior, and he's my only great wide receiver, they could press and double team him, and I would get boxed up. I'd get pissed off because it does matter. And if people called me a whale this year, Trey, I'd be like, yeah, I am. I really am. Like, I'm sorry, I really am. I would admit it, Trey. Like, there's no hiding what I do and what I don't do, but it definitely matters, and it definitely matters. Like, it also helped on another thing, Trey and Rose. It really helped me show that, like, if I have an equal team with a lot of these pros, I'm either really, really close, like a literal player two off from beating them, or I've beaten a couple of them this year. Like, one was Problem, which is probably the best one I've had. So, do I think that I would have beat Problem if I had a worse team? No, he would have beat me. And so it does matter because when you go into like MCS, like if I told Rose this like a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. Rose, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it was sooner. I said that if I was her or if I were you, Trey, if you didn't but you don't, and I didn't worry about doing a bunch of money tournaments and tournaments like that, and I wasn't competing against like MCS top pros, I would um I would not spend this money, bro. Now, unless my stream was popping and you know what I mean, like that, but nah, man, like just to sum it up, sorry, man, I was a little out of breath, dude. I got up to get myself a drink and I tripped over a Lego that my 5-year-old had left out and I stumbled like a 80-year-old man, but no, so dang. So Rose got her Ken Griffey Battle Arena box of hero cards. We've opened. Hold on, I'm gonna hit dot. We've opened 12 packs of 28 so far. Rose, did you get anything good? So did that answer your question, Trey, or did I just like ramble off completely off the rails like a crazy drunk?
Nah, you definitely answered your question.
Wait, where'd you go?
Yeah, no, I'm back. Sorry, my thing glitched out. It does that from time to time. Like Siri will just pop up, and then she'll think I've talked to her. But no, you answered my question. You were basically saying that like had you not had this best team, you wouldn't have beat Problem. So so in a way, you do not regret it because at the end of the day, you had a mission into yourself. You wanted to give yourself no excuses on why it is that you lost. You wanted to leave no doubt, basically, and that more people, when you do have the best team, even though they might not actually say much in the chat, they'll still lurk you. And at the end of the day, like as long as you get viewers, of course the goal is to get more interaction, but viewers are like the pathway to getting more interaction and such. Um, but yeah, with that being said, Shane, would you say that in MUT, right? Do you, do you think like because you were talking about the MUT League earlier, like when we were doing like our intro, you were saying how at first you were gonna try to get into a MUT League, but it ended up not working because of scheduling and stuff. But I mean, like, would that MUT League be like with other top pros that were joining it, and how did you find out about that?
First off, shout out to Rose for pulling a Roger Clemens Brawler Battle Foil Red for 150 bucks. That's legit. And then her nicer pulls are the Maverick. Cooper Flag and Paige Bucher's grilled battle. That's dope, bros. That's what I'm talking about. Get your paper, get your bread. Now, are you selling it, Rose, or are you keeping it? So yeah, Trey, it would have been like, do you remember a few years ago where I did the Mutt League, and I played like D Croft, Kiv, and all those people? Do you remember that vaguely?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, vaguely I remember it.
Okay, so this Mutt League, was basically, um, Mutt League basically has all the top pros in it. The Dez, the um, all those guys, D Croft. There's a couple others I can't remember, but yeah, it's like a top. It's like a literally top couple hundred, top 100, depending on, but it's basically a top 200 Mutt League like pro players in the whole world with like I think 8 or 9 top 25 players into it for big money. And I was gonna do it. Did I expect to win it all? No, I didn't. But I want to play because I like the competition. It's like it's what makes me better. And I think that's what I've been missing out on, Trey, since I couldn't do money games for obviously IRS reasons, certain reasons for the last few years. I think that ruined it for me in the tournaments. And I'm being honest when I say this, Trey, is like when I used to do money games for like 25 to 600 bucks, bro, I had the adrenaline dump, right? I had the adrenaline dump because oh man, if I lost 600 bucks, that's a huge loss, bro. You feel me? Like that's a huge loss. Where then I'd go to the tournament, Mutt tournament, and I'd be like, oh well, if I lose, it's just a free game technically. Like yeah, I'd like to win, but it's just a free game, and it would help me. It would help me play in the tournament, Trey, because I'd be relaxed. It would be a free game. Losing money was much worse. Well, the last few years, this has been my whole bread and butter, right? I have to win these tournaments. I have to win these tournaments because this is all I'm putting my eggs in one basket. Well, this year, I'm able to do some like tournaments, and that is my goal after, like I said, after January, probably 4th or 5th. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to log on to Game Soon, bro, put some money in there, see who wants the business, see if it's Mutt. Um, so all of that, bro, and like another thing why is like I can't play the game 24/7 like some people do to like where they don't have to. Where like a lot of people spend maybe like a couple $100 less than me, but they get to play it 24/7. You know what I mean, Trey? Like so it's much more. Rose said you guys should touch on the controversial Twitter debate. Everyone went crazy over the last 4 days. The Kurt Bankert situation. Community got pissed that Bankert EA sponsor got gifted a top tier team and said because he couldn't grind the game instead of being a money spender like we all have to, EA gave him a team that was reportedly worth 20 million. It pissed the community off big time because he didn't have to pay or grind like everyone else. I'll hit on it right now. Trey, do you want first dibs or you want me to go at it real quick?
Nah, you can go ahead and get into it. We were actually testing about this not too long ago. Shane tested me and we were talking about it. So yeah, shout out to Rose for bringing it up. It was very interesting. But yeah, go ahead, Shane. But yeah.
So I've been sitting on this, Rose, and I've been sitting on this, Trey. I'm like, where am I at on this, right? Where am I at on this whole situation? And I was flip flopping. And I have come to the realization that I don't really care. Yeah, simple as that. I really don't care. I'll leave it at that. Like, yes, I do understand people's point of views. Like, damn, that's messed up. This EA guy just got a bunch of free cards, free packs that people had to spend a buttload of money, which is a little tone deaf by EA. And he got it for all free, while other people had to grind 24/7, like 24/7, and spend money still because this is one of the still spendier EA years on on Madden 26, like this was one of the more like expensive MUT seasons, Trey and Rose, honestly, in my humble opinion. Um, whereas like even if you're really really good and you win a lot, you still have to um spend a decent amount of money, bro. Like because even if you win Super Bowls, you get only like I believe 300K, right? You only get 300K. And yes, I guess if you're like top 30, you can win Gauntlet a lot if you don't match up with the other top 30. And Gauntlet you can get between like 4 to 10 million. And so they can like if you're like top 20, top 30 trade, but for the most part, it was pretty expensive. Before I get into it, Rose said there's a YouTuber that she thinks is very funny, a real streamer. He doesn't BS. He's called Forum. I've told you about. He talked about it. He said, "Mad's the one community that quick with the first one. YouTubers say, hey, that ain't fair,' and EA will say, skill issue, get better." Like I said, I'm at the point where like I don't really care. Like it's what it is. Like I said, it's a little tone deaf by EA for sure. I agree. But Kurt Bankart is not trying to win an MCS tournament. Not that I understand. If he was, okay, that's a little messed up. Then that there's an issue. That's a bigger issue because you are throwing free money stuff to a guy who basically didn't have to spend anything. That literally all those cards, Trey, are probably worth, I would say, like $1,000 to $1,500 worth, Trey. And then maybe if you're a top 30 player, it costs like 700 or 800. But like somebody told me, and I don't know if it's true or not. You know how people say, but like I guess Henry spent like 4 or 5K on his team, and I'm not even 25% of the way there. But honestly, I'm at the point where I really don't care about it. Like I was like one way, and then I was like another way, and then I'm like, but like when you break it down into it, and like you got Mazomatic arguing with Gut Fox, you got Gut Fox arguing with Fendler, you got Fendler arguing with blah blah, and so on, and whoop de woo. And then people were like, I saw it, were like, hey, how come you didn't care when you got 3 or 4 cards? Like, honestly, bro, like I literally, and Trey, you can vouch for this. Like back in the day, bro, when you were in this like talking to me, and like I would be like, hey, did you hear that Skimbo and Kiv got the game 2 weeks before everyone else for the first tournament? That's not fair. Well, guess what happened? Some of these people were getting free cards prior years for the first tournament, and they didn't tell anyone. So to me, everything's just hypocritical, bro. It's like when Kiv threw a hissy fit about whatever getting the game before everyone, but then the person was like, how come you didn't care when you got the game first? You said, oh, well, like, be better. And it's just like, that's where I am on it, like the whole thing. Rose said, he didn't understand why they got mad at, like, they were telling, oh, yeah, it's on site, you be where. And he said, damn, like that, I get being mad, but damn, that mad? I mean, people are very hypocritical, and most Madden community, and like I've heard it's in 2K, and I've heard it's elsewhere, but like the Madden community gets upset about everything. Like this dude is literally trying to promote, is what I've heard. I haven't watched him at all, so I don't know. But like I've heard that he was trying to promote, and he's part of the EA sponsorship. He's not trying to do MCS tournaments. He's not trying to do any of that. Part of me thinks that it's a little bit jealousy by other streamers because they did have to spend money, which is messed up. I do understand that aspect, but they're also, for the most part, trying to compete in the tournaments and compete for money and compete where they're like they had to spend it, and now possibly like because it's a proven fact that if you buy new cards and you're like, hey, I'm doing this, um this is coming out, Zero Chill's coming out, right? And I'm like, Zero Chill pack opening and then head to head play. Like the very first day, I had like 11 people lurk me. I mean, snap of the finger, you guys. First day, and I'm not even that popular. I'm not even like I'm small streamer. So I understand it. Where like they're upset a little bit. You know what I mean? We're like, hey, um, like I gotta pay for all these cards, and Kurt doesn't have to, and like Now I can't say I just bought and I'm making it up again. This part. Zero Chill. All the brand new theme teams. Zero Chill. Brand new card opening. Top players. Well, Kurt's doing it too. Well, that takes away some of their revenue because people are watching Kurt. Rose said, I'm the same way. What Burkhart and the pros do really doesn't matter. I'm not a pro. I don't care. I'm not trying to be. I try to wear free cards like family. The game will never be that serious, though I get raging mad at it when I'm losing. No, I understand, Rose. I mean, I'm a pro. I'm just not like the top like 200 pro, like the ones you see on TV. Like I'm technically one of the better players in the whole Madden community. Some days it doesn't look like that. Some days I'm not locked in. Some days like I'm just having a bad day. I mean, but like when it comes to the tournament, like I think I'm ranked like 500th this year or something out of 21,000, and that's not including like that. I'm around. There's a couple guys that I was a little surprised at, like Master Gamer, a couple other top players that like you'd be shocked that they were like, hey, Shane actually is ranked the same ranking as this top player. Um, so yes, Rose, I am a pro in that aspect of like in that aspect of Madden skill wise, just matter of factly skill wise. Am I a top 1% of the 1% pros? No, I'm not. Not at all. Like, nope. I wish I was, but I'm not. But like I used to get pissed off. You can ask Trey on this. Like I used to be like hella pissed off when I'd find out um like Skimbo, Kiv, um Greeny, all these dudes would get games ahead of everybody. And when they were signed to Gamer Saloon, right? When they were signed to Gamer Saloon for a while, Skip on them, they got the game 2 weeks early. And then there'd be tournaments, right? There'd be tournaments, and you'd be like, damn, like they knew stuff. And then they'd try to do the like Gamer Saloon would host a $5,000 tournament, which back then was major money, but like then these people are like, well, deal with it. And I would get pissed off. And like I'm rambling on a little bit, Trey, so I apologize, but like I just can't worry what people do anymore. Like I understand for the big streamers like Fendler and Mazomatic or whoever's like upset, like I can't remember exactly, like I know what they're talking about because they had to spend money or grind and be on stream for like 10, 11 hours, and then this guy comes in and EA's just like, hey, here is free cards. But like I feel the same way about I was very about Eric Rayweather. I was one of the first people in the Madden community, matter of factly, to post patch notes. Well, guess who started doing it? Eric Rayweather. I even called him out on Twitter about 6, 7 years ago. He ignored me because you know why? He's a big dog, and big dogs eat, and they don't care about the little dog. And even though, matter of factly, I was correct, I was factually correct. I put it out first, I did all that, but EA started giving him stuff, and he became part of EA and all that stuff during that time. And you know what? He did it, and I was really pissed off. I was really, really pissed off, honestly, at that time. Like because like I thought I found a niche, and I thought that I was gonna be like, you know, make some good money by posting it and doing all this stuff. But yeah, so I'm just looking up at the top rankings, like of the 21,000, and like I'm better than Farizzi, I'm better than St. Just. These are some old time pros. Like I'm better than Haha Joker. Um, let's see, I'm better than just trying to figure out some guys that you guys might have possibly heard of. Um, Problem they go under different names. Reese, Noodle, Tyrone, Nick Dude, like those are a couple top pros. Like, oh, primetime season. This guy, primetime season actually was really, really awesome last year, but he's actually ranked 70 spots worse than me. So honestly, like that's what I'm saying. Austin Wanted, there's like a lot of GWAP is huge in the industry now. So anyways, I don't need to go through the whole thing. So like yeah, so I would consider myself a top pro, right? For the Madden community as a whole, not like for the top pro of the pros, if that makes sense. Like not a top pro of the pro community. I'm talking about I'd consider myself a top pro for the Madden community as a whole, not for the top pros of the pro community, but I am a pro in the community. Oh, Gov Fox was pissed about it, and community kind of got mad at Fox for cussing Burkhardt or Bankcard out. Basically, Fendler and Miz Mac defended Bankcard, says it's EA's fault, not. They made a meme of it, Photoshop Bankcard's Roger on the cover saying things. Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's crazy. That's like honestly, just to sum it up, like I can't care anymore. Like I can't care anymore, and like if I was getting free stuff or if I was getting the game 2 weeks earlier because I won a belt or I was a top 8 player, well, the other people need to get better, right? The other people need to get better. And for someone here, I'll use me. I'll exclude the whole Bankart thing. Like for me and Eric Rayweather, I need to be better, right? I need to be more popular because it didn't matter in the end. The big dog had to eat in Eric Rayweather. Kurt Bankart is the big dog with EA, and that's all that matters. So Trey, I don't know if like you want to add on, or if you think I hit the nail on the head, or if you disagree with me or whatnot.
Yeah, no question. So, and I'm not sure if you knew this, Shane, because you said, you weren't really too, you didn't know if Kurt Bankart was going to be competing or he's not competing, but you didn't know. So, Kurt Bankart is actually a former NFL player. He played with Aaron Rodgers. He was on the Green Bay Packers. He didn't have a long NFL career, but he was in the NFL for like a period of time. And I don't know if he like started a game, but the point is that he was an NFL player. So just throwing that out there in case you didn't know. But no, I pretty much feel the same way for you. Is like, was it in bad taste? Yeah, it was kind of in bad taste. You have someone that is gifted cards by EA Sports, and the general public will see that and that it will cause rage. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is that do I think that I don't think Kurt didn't see anything wrong with what he was doing. He probably said, oh, this is cool because he's not into Madden like that. He's a football player. So to him, he probably says, well, I'm going to post the free cards that I get. And, like, thanks to EA, like, he didn't do it with any malice. And he wasn't, like, trying to show off and say, oh, look at all you broke SOBs, look at all the cards I get from Madden, blah, blah, blah. I just think he posted it and didn't see anything wrong with it. Now, with that being said, if I was in a position of success and EA Sports gave me cards, would I do what Kurt did? No, but that's only because I know that if I was working with EA Sports and they gave me free cards, I'm not just gonna go out there and say, hey, look at what all I got. But that's only because I'm in the community and I kind of know how that might look. But from Kurt's side of things, like it was kind of funny. Like I have no idea why. Like I don't know if this is just like Gut Fox's personality, and he's just like a fiery person. But that dude went off on Kurt. Like the second reply, like, because I'm thinking it's just like some Madden thing, and then he was like, "Oh, we'll open you wallet." Like he wasn't like he didn't like insult him or anything. He didn't like it wasn't like he was like, oh, you're a bum, you only played football for X amount of times. It wasn't like that he was saying, but he was definitely pretty fiery on it, so I was kind of taken back on how aggressive he was towards it. But yeah, that's kind of my whole thing, and then I actually got into the replies too because someone posted on the thing, he was like, he tagged MMG, who's another streamer, and he was like, you just have to ask nicely for the cards. You don't have to use your own money. And I replied like, MMG, like these other YouTubers, they get the same treatment. Like I'm almost 90% sure they get the same treatment from EA Sports. The only difference is that they don't actually do what Kurt did because they know better, essentially. But I mean, isn't that right, Shane? It's like because Kurt is in the sphere where he's gonna make EA Sports money. I mean, it's the same way like when W made those racist tweets. I mean, EA punished him apparently, but mostly they looked the other way because EA Sports viewed guys like W and Skimbo as dollar signs. So isn't that right? Like you think that like these other YouTubers and content creators like they're just dollar signs in EA Sports eyes, and even though they might not abruptly say that they get free cards, like you would probably agree with me that they absolutely do probably get similar treatment from them, right?
Um, yeah, I'm gonna answer you, Trey. I'm gonna answer Rose. The most troll moment people bash Bankart for is that he claims to be a former player. He took one snap in a real game and it was a kneel down, so everyone said he's gonna flex his game knee pad. The only thing, honestly, for me on that, Rose, is he's still better than 99.999% of the people. So like they're kind of clowning him for being better than them. So I really don't know what else to say on that. Honestly, like I'm not saying about you, Rose. I'm saying the people trolling him. He made an NFL team. That was like when Adam Morrison from Gonzaga made the NBA team, and he tore his ACL and he became a bench player with the Lakers, and people made fun of him for getting two NBA rings, being a bench player for Kobe. I mean, he was still better than 99.999% of the people out there. And then the people trolling him are, you know, not as probably as popular or as good at their job occupation than him. So to me, it's like, I get the whole troll thing, but like, I would like if I was him, I wouldn't even answer that, or I'd probably answer it much rudely than he probably did. I'd probably be like, "Yeah, I took one snap, I kneeled down, and I made an NFL game, and I made the NFL, and I'm better than 99.9% of you for a job occupation," and that's really the truth. Rose also said Bankart was called a B word because he said you want to promote a game using a 20 million card team, yet you don't want to spend the money to get the team to say, "Oh, I can't grind." Too bad. BITCH. Open the wall was Gut Fox's exact words. Trey Jr., what's good, bro? He said, "Damn, let me hold that 4.5 million coins." Shoot, bro, this is all about doing money in tournaments soon, bro. I gotta do it, man. I gotta be a whale, bro. I gotta make some bread, man. That's a goal after MCS is done. I am gonna be doing tournaments, and hopefully I've won a couple small ones, so I'm not mad. And it definitely the team's definitely helped out. So going back to that, Trey, you're absolutely right. Trey Senior. So Trey Senior, you're absolutely right, bro. You know what Kurt Bankart did, and I think one of the YouTubers said it too. I don't know if it was a smaller one, but he basically said what Kurt did wrong compared to a lot of these YouTube streamers is that he actually did it on air. I believe that's what he said. He did it on air. He promoted it on air, and basically, you know, they were saying that a lot of these kids get cards off and any off air, and they just don't open it on air, and they don't say anything, and then they get to promote it. Like I think so. Actually, I think somebody said that they, as a streamer, got 4 Team of the Week cards that were like LTDs or something like that, and he got it early and got to promote it, but he just didn't say anything, and nobody really cared. I just feel like probably Kurt was very innocent in the sense of opening it on air and being like, "This is what I got," because he didn't think it was a big deal. Where people are like, "Oh hell no, that's messed up." And I get it, because I spent the money, so like I understand. It's not like having an 80 overall team like Trey Jr. No shots fired at Trey Jr., but like I've spent enough money where I could be butthurt, and I'm not butthurt because I just know that's the way it is. top Madden pros get the game a couple weeks early. Top YouTube streamers, top Twitch streamers get cards to open on the download or promote and say, "Hey, go check out EA Madden." So let's not all act innocent, okay? You know who you are, and you know a lot of people do that as well. Rose said he's trying to get our money up, Trey Jr. We aren't Kurt Bankart. We ain't getting no free cards. Yo, no. It's only because I got tournaments outside of MCS coming up, and I'm gonna be trying to do money games. But yeah, so Trey Senior, I definitely agree with you, bro. You are absolutely right on your reply in the tweet. Trust me, I was witness to a lot of it.
Yeah, no question. And it's like, and it's funny too because when I replied, I mean, like, and MMG is a guy because that was like the tweet specifically that he made. I know, like, he's not the only one. There's a few others that are popular, and they kind of say the same thing. They talk bad about EA, but the way that I look at it personally is like that's just the popular thing to do. Like, just because like, you're out here talking crap about the company, that doesn't mean that like behind the scenes you're like, not working for him. Like, I don't want to say that he's pandering or he's a grifter or anything like that, but it's like it's the popular thing to do. And like if I was like a Madden YouTuber and I know that there's like a lot of people that don't like the game, like am I going to be like Dubby and for whatever reason like trying to convince the world that EA Sports is a good company and everything is all culture, or would I try to feed into the negativity and like try, even though I might not necessarily agree with it, and I'm like, and I'll be a sellout behind the scenes, but I'll still try to pander to like the audience because I know that they're all so negative and are upset about the game, rightfully so. I mean, yeah, I would do that. So I think people just need to think about that as well. But yeah, Shane, you said like your big thing about this journey that you've been going on, your mud journey, was you didn't want people to say you hate it when people say that cards don't matter and they absolutely do. My question to you on that is why do you think people say that cards don't matter? Do you think that the reason they say it, because there's like this Family Guy clip that I seen where they're playing Tecmo Bowl, and in Tecmo Bowl, Bo Jackson is like the most overpowered player in that game, kind of like Michael Vick and Madden 2004. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, Bo Jackson isn't gonna go down. And like they're kind of saying, "Oh, I'm good," and the other guy replied, "You're not good. You just have Bo Jackson," kind of thing. So do you think it's kind of similar to that? Why they they say that cars don't matter because they don't want their ego to be hurt, or do you think it's kind of deeper than that, right? Like, do you think it's kind of like they say that because they want to put out that notion so that people can look at it and say like, oh well, cars don't matter. Maybe I should spend another $200 dollars and just try to get better. But in doing that, if they're not spending money and just like keep going better, they just keep going in a circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Rose lost her pizza rolls. That is heartbreaking. Pizza rolls are money. That's all I'll say. And Trey Jr.'s got a 91 overall team on cut. It's not bad. I mean, it's not. I don't even know what cut is up to, so I shouldn't say that. And then where Rose said, just like
It,
the Family Guy
it,
scene, what's that?
oh, I was just gonna say that cut is college ultimate team.
Right. But I didn't know what the top overall is on it right now. Do you?
I have no idea.
Okay.
No,
Okay. So Trey Jr. said his cut team is a 91 overall. I don't know how high it is because I think they're ahead of Madden. So I don't know. Rose said, just like the Family Guy scene where Peter plays Cleveland on fast break, he says no corner three that's broken. And Peter first shot is corner three. Yo, I've seen both clips, the Madden, the Tecmo one, and that one that you're talking about, Rose. So here is where I am at on that, Trey. So you were like, What do you think the reason is? I think it's all of it, bro. Ego, money, trying to hustle and scam. Okay, so Trey Jr. said it's 94s and 95. So you're like middle. Okay, so you're like middle probably, Trey Jr. Um, it's kind of like here's where I'm at on it. Trey is where they say like, oh, the carbs don't matter, whoop de whoop. Well, if you believe them and you rock an 89 team and I'm playing with the 93 team and we're evenly matched, I'm gonna beat you most of the time. So right there, that gives me the advantage, right? So that's one thing. So they're hustling and scamming you on that, like kind of like when I was told, hey, don't play Mutt in Madden 16, don't worry about it. But that was the year I was beating like serious Mo and Hollywood and a couple other legit top pros at the time, and I was told not to do it. And now I realize, like, well, for the last few years, they didn't want me to do it because I was seen as a threat. Well, if you have the money to buy a MUT team, a legit MUT team, but you're a good player, they're not going to want you to buy that because then they have a chance to lose to you because your team's as close to even as possible with them. And then secondly, it is ego. Like nobody wants to hear like, "Hey man, you beat me because you have the brand new Nikes and I'm wearing blue light special shoes." Nobody wants to have that ego like, "Oh, you're saying I only could beat you because, I have like the brand new shoes and the brand new basketball and you have an old basketball and old shoes." Like that's the same thing with Madden. Like nobody wants to be like, "Oh, I was only able to beat you, Trey, because I have a 93 overall team and you have an 89 team." So it's a multitude of things, Trey. It's the ego. They don't want to admit that you might be as good as them or better if they had an even team with you. And at the same time, they're trying to hustle, scam you from not doing it if they believe you're as good as them, because then you might have a chance to knock them off. Like, for a perfect example, Madden 16 with me. Now, to answer the chat, Rose said she's basically a 91 team in MUT, more like a 90, but I have under 4 million coins. So you're close, Rose. You're not as you're not far off from me. Well, okay, you are a little bit far off, but not horribly far off right now. And then Trey Jr. said, hate all of these YouTubers have the coins, have all the cards. It seems like their pack luck is better than mine for real. Damn, was that a pot shot at me, Trey Jr.? Like, I got 4.5 million cards, yada yada. Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. My pack luck has been terrible this year until Zero Chill. I didn't pull one LTD besides the Aubrey, which everyone basically got if you spent 80,000 coins, the kicker, until Zero Chill. And then I know Trey Jr. I know I was just joking. Um, and then Zero Chill. Honestly, I've pulled like 3 or 4 LTDs. No lie. The rest I've had to buy with coins, but like Zero Chill's been the real money for me. Like the Barner tight end, I pulled in the BND. I can't really sell it, but 87K. But like, yeah, I got hella good luck in Zero Chill. Like I think it's like 4 LTDs in Zero Chill, like real crazy. And then so like, but before that, you guys, it really sucked. And I'm sorry, Trey, bro, if I like I'm jumping around trying to answer the chat for us at the same time. Rose's biggest break was the LTDJ team most feared for 1 million. You should have sold it to me. I needed that card of a tournament, Rose. Maybe LOL. Trey Jr. Yeah, man. Like, no, I was literally pissed off. I was spending money like during the year and not pulling crap, and I would have to like sell like like the overall, like if it was a 90, let's say, but like I could never pull the 91 LTD and people were pulling LTDs left and right. Sometimes I feel the same way as you guys. I feel like certain Twitch streamers and YouTubers have better pack luck, and honestly, that goes off my conspiracy, which later proved to be valid and factual. And Trey Senior will remember this when they were doing Mutt Draft and all the top, I believe, what was it, Trey? Top 8 pros got all their playbooks that they needed for the single elimination tournament, even though it was supposed to be random picks for the playbooks, and it was found out to be basically that it was rigged, so the top 8 players at that time would get their playbooks that they're awesome at. Trey Jr. says, I mean, these bigger YouTubers feels like their pack looks always better. I mean, I get where you're saying, bro. Like, I kind of feel like that too at times, and like I said, the conspiracy theory can be valid on certain things. Like I said, Trey remembers this, man. Mud draft, like the top 8 or whatever, top 12 players. I can't remember exactly. It's either 8 or 12. Doesn't really matter. They all magically landed their playbook that they were awesome in, where we were having playbooks that we might have struggled in. So to Trey Senior, basically, I think it's all a multitude, bro. I think it's ego, and I think it's also sometimes it's fear that you might be as good as them, and if you have a worse team, that gives them the advantage. I mean, I saw people hustle over $2 on GamerSlim, so I'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, and no, I think it's good that Shane's over there interacting with the chat and keeping us covered on that end of things. It's always very good, so I'm definitely not upset about it at all. So, but with that being said, Shane, what do you think? This will be a quick one. There's not going to be a backstory to it, but what do you think about the Seattle Seahawks putting belt to ass on the Minnesota Vikings 26-0? How are you feeling about that, and what is your prediction on Sunday against the Falcons?
I mean, it felt good. Like they beat up a bad team, right? You should beat up a bad team. If you're good, you should beat up a bad team. And yes, 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 I get it. You have to play the game. And not all the time will you win, right? Not all the time will you handle business. So it was nice to see that they went out and handled business. The Seahawks are gonna whip the Atlanta Falcons by 2 touchdowns this Sunday at 10 a.m. And also, the Falcons will be without their star wide receiver Drake London, so it made it a little bit easier in my opinion. So yeah, I think they're gonna whoop the hell out of Atlanta, bro.
Alright, so you heard it here first. I also am going to take the Seahawks on that one. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how the NFC West plays out. I forget who San Francisco played last week, but I know that they also lost, and so I know Shane's probably pretty happy about that. And yeah, the Seahawks are probably one of the top. Well, they are one of the top seeds in the NFC. And then the Patriots got a big win on Monday Night Football against the Giants. I know that there was some controversy on that game with the Jackson Dart hit by Christian Ellis, which shout out to Christian Ellis. He's a former Idaho college player. And then there was another one that was like a helmet to helmet. People were saying that it was a dirty hit and such, but the quarterback hit. My opinion on that is that if the quarterbacks are going to run outside the pocket and they're going to be treated like running backs, like in my opinion, I think they should be they should be treated as such. Like you want to like tiptoe out of bounds. I mean, be my guest, but I think it's fair like to allow the defense to punish them. You know what I mean? What do you think, Shane, about that? What do you
Oh, sorry, dude. I was reading the chat. They're just going back and forth. Are you talking about QBs going out of bounds? I heard you said cheap shot.
Yeah, like quarterbacks being punished basically, not like every time they get hit hard it's a flag, or like when they're like going out of bounds and someone just like hits them hard. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, the Rams lost last week. The 49ers won, is what Rose was saying. Um, and Trey Jr. said just because you beat a bad team doesn't mean you're good. No, the Seahawks are pretty good, man. They're pretty solid in my opinion. So for that, it's good. Trey Jr. hates the Rams, so that's how they lost because they lost to the Saints lost to him in the playoffs. I remember that. I think that's why you're mad about him still. I feel you. But yeah, man, it was getting to the point, to answer your question, Trey. It was getting to the point where like Patrick Mahomes would act like he's starting to go out of bounds. The defense would slow up and he'd cut back up for like what was it, like 15 yards, and people were getting like, this is dumb because if they blow him up, it'd be a 15-yard penalty. And I don't remember if it was some former NFL player or if it was an NFL player who said, "Yeah, we're just going to start blowing him up, and if we get 15-yard penalties, we get 15-yard penalties." Um, so I don't know, man. Like they gotta figure out a way that players can't, like, especially QBs can't be getting away with that bull crap. You know what I mean? Where like they slow up, or like I think there was, maybe people remember this a couple years ago, college football, where the QB started to go down like he was gonna slide. The player let up, and then he just ran in for the touchdown, and people were like, "See, that's what the problem is." So I think what they're gonna have to do if it continues is the QBs get treated right. They get treated like a wide receiver or running back once you're outside the pocket, and that'd make it work. Side note, you guys, I don't know if anyone drinks sparkling ice. That's what I do. My favorite's black raspberry, and then I buy some blueberries and I put the blueberries in to the sparkling ice. It's money, so don't judge me, but it's money. So yeah, Trey, I think they should just treat the QB like he's a running back once he leaves the pocket.
Yeah, no doubt, and Rose is correct. I don't know why I said the San Francisco 49ers won. They lost to the Browns. That was actually Shadur Sanders' second start second start that the 49ers won that game. They played the Browns. But yeah, so yeah, I agree with you, Shane, and it was kind of funny, like, and I think that a funny like antidote for this whole thing is in the press conference after the game, they were talking to Christian Ellis, and I think that this was intentional. And I don't exactly know what the message is for this, but in like the post game press conferences, when Christian Ellis spoke, he wore like an NFLPA hat to it, and I was like looking at it, like it could just be like coincidental or what have you, but I kind of looked at that and I was like, yeah, I think that there's like a message to that for him wearing the NFLPA hat in that. It's almost like to say like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. So I thought that that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, Shane. With all that being said, I think we covered everything else pretty good. Do you have a would you rather question for us tonight? Do you?
Trade really quick. Trade Junior said they should have taken the Saints should have taken Shadir Sanders. That would have been wild. I was gonna ask, like, really quick before we get to the would you rather. Has anybody been watching the Diddy documentary by 50 Cent? Anybody? I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm at 2 episodes in and it's wild, you guys. It shows what a piece of crap he is. But anyways, anyone watch him? Trey, have you?
It's kind of funny because I heard about it like there's this one like hip hop like YouTube channel that I watch from time to time, and he was talking about it, and I guess like him and Diddy like crossed paths back in the day, kind of like someone else that I know on this podcast, but I'm not gonna name any names, but no, like I haven't got a chance to watch it, but like so you said you're 2 episodes in, like so I'll ask you, do you think that it was a documentary that was like specifically designed to like demean him and kind of place him in a bad light, or do you think it was like a more objective like style of documentary?
I mean, it's clear that 50 Cent hates Puffy, right? Like, I mean, most people in the like understand that 50 hates Puffy, right? I mean, that's obvious. But so far in the first episodes, the first two episodes have been pretty non-biased. They've had people on there that have stuck up for Puffy, and then there's people on there that have like hated on Puffy. Like I learned that in the first episode, Puffy hosted a party at a college where 9 people got stampeded to death. I never knew that growing up. And then basically, he had a basically childhood friend that grew up with him, split housing, and his mom, his dad, Puffy's dad was basically a drug lord pimp in Harlem, New York, got killed when he was very young. His mom basically raised him, would have him dance at parties at like 5, 6, 7 years old on the stage while she hosted like parties. I put in quotations parties and stuff like that. And it basically went on like he basically, honestly, from the episodes, like he's pretty much a snake from people that knew him. He's very charming, very witty, very manipulative. Basically, a sociopathic narcissist is what they label him. Um, he would basically like if I'm friends with somebody, right, and I'm single and you're with a girl, he would try to get your girl even though you're friends. And then once you broke up with her, he'd try to slide in and get her, and he would. And lots of times he would, which is to me that's messed up. Um so basically, or like he would just do very manipulative things. Like for people that don't know, Andre Harrell ran like a record label, and Puffy like became his protege and would do stuff for him. Well, then like he started telling Andre, because this is from Andre Harrell's own words, like he'd be like, hey, how do you run this business and how do you do this, whoop de whoop, right? And then what would happen is he Puffy would came out in a radio interview and was like, yeah, I was basically telling him like you're getting older and you understand the youth, and I'm the young person, and like you should let me start running it before you get too old. You've already left a legacy. Let me build a legacy before it's too late. So like just manipulative stuff, right? I did I did hear some weird stuff, like, so then the second episode I got to Tupac and Biggie, and basically like Puffy was like he Biggie was like his first real friend he had, but like I don't even know like how much of it is really true and how much it is a facade, because basically they're explaining that Puffy would turn into anybody that he hung around, right? So anybody that he hung around, he'd become a pimp, a gangster, whatever it was helping. And so that would go on. And I did find out like one time, like Puffy copied I Get Around from Tupac. He spent like hours of it studying it. And basically, they copied Tupac's style. So Tupac was technically right on the whole they were copying his style. Like it came out, the guy that worked for Puffy, who was co-owner of Bad Boy, admitted it. There's a video clip where Puffy's like, Biggie, you're taking like 30 days to write one song, which like kind of surprised me because 30 days for one song is wild to me. And basically, like Puffy wanted Tupac to work with him, and then once he saw that Tupac was becoming too much friends with Biggie, he like got jealous of Tupac, and just some weird stuff. And like one of the co-owners or one of the childhood friends of Puffy is like, I fully believe now that Puffy was the reason Tupac got shot the first time in Quad, and then obviously it was his opinion that why he got shot the second time. And they showed how like Keefe D was like, hey man, this is what happened, blah blah blah. Oh, that's tough, Trey Jr. Your friend pulled JD5 on college LTD. That's wild, bro. But no, so Trey, it was just a lot of like just wild stuff, bro. Like then they had the funeral for Biggie, right? And Puffy saw was like, I want it all for Biggie, man. No matter the cost, no matter the expenses, he is my best friend, right? So then they get down to Puffy sees how much it is becoming, and he charges the Biggie estate for the funeral. So Biggie's family paid for Biggie's own funeral after Puffy acted like he was going to pay for the funeral and all that, bro. And it's just wild. Like all the stuff is like eye opening, and like he actually, why 50 Cent is just crazy. Like you don't want to really go against him in the sense of like unless you got your money and your papers and all that stuff. Puffy was doing a documentary right before he got arrested to try to make it look like he was innocent, Trey. Like, oh, look, yeah, I'm a nice guy. I'm going around New York high fiving like fellow New Yorkers. Well, they found that, so he ended up stiffing the videography guy. And so 50 Cent bought all the video stuff that Puffy was doing behind the scenes and trying to make him look innocent. So 50 basically took Puffy's video stuff of what Puffy was trying to make look innocent because Puffy stiffed that video guy. So Puffy's documentary became part of the 50 Cent documentary about Puffy. And like, so like there's a video clip, Trey, of where Puffy is like high fiving, or Diddy or whatever the hell he's called nowadays, is high fiving like New Yorkers, like, oh, much love, oh, I'm gonna wear your outfit. And then he gets into like the vehicle and he's like, ooh, I'm gonna need like to clean my hands off and like take a bunch of baths because I touched too many people, like just like disgusted by him. And it was wild because it was never meant to be seen, right? It was never meant to be seen. But Puffy stiffed the video guy, and then 50 Cent somehow knew Puffy was making a documentary to look innocent and bought all the evidence off him. So that's where they are. It's a real crazy documentary. I'm only 2 episodes in, and like it really just like shows that like it seems like Puffy was just a charming snake, man.
Yeah, no, that's definitely crazy. I'm definitely looking forward to get a chance to watch it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I have the same sentiments with you on that one. I don't think, but I don't think Puffy did anything that was like, I mean, obviously there was the Cassie situation, which is horrible. Like, he should probably get a lot more for what he did to that. But I mean, if we're looking at the events in totality, I feel like the dude is basically in prison because he has male escorts, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of the thing because like there's like nothing like because like there's like no evidence that he's like this like bad person. I mean, like all the evidence just kind of says that he's in prison because he hired male escorts. He hired.
Well, I mean, I think they got him on also sexual assault or something like that. I mean, he has like 12 or 13 cases, but yeah, you got to check out the documentary, you guys. We will move on to Would You Rather. Trey, are you there? Or did you get cut off? My
Yeah,
bad.
no, I didn't get cut off. That was like, yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
No, okay, I bet I'm feeling you. Rose, what did she just say? The other heroes in the box that can possibly pull are Donnie Buckets, Luca Switchblade, Travis Hunter, Howie Burton, and Jalen Brunson. Who are cheap cards of Cam Ward, Brock Bowers, Genty, and Aaron Judge. Oh, that's what's up. That's money. So let's get into this Would You Rather. I do have a Would You Rather. Would you rather get a paper cut every time you turn a page or bite your tongue every time you eat?
Oh, I would do a paper cut. That's easy because I don't read, so I don't have to touch papers that much. And unless you're like a drug dealer or something where you're like touching money, you're not gonna be touching money every time you cut pictures. So I'm definitely gonna go with the paper cut for that because I definitely eat more than I touch paper. Touch paper on that. Yeah, Shane. I was just kind of biding time because I've seen that you're muted on my end, so I was just kind of filling up space. But yeah, what about you?
Um, I would probably do paper cuts too, because like honestly, since I got a smartphone, I read and study on my phone, right? So I don't have paper really. And I definitely like you, Trey. I'd definitely like bite my tongue more. Trey Jr. said he would do paper cut too. And Rose said depends how hard I bite my tongue. I'd probably do paper cuts because I never read books. Yeah, that's probably definitely easier nowadays since you have smartphones. Trey Jr. said I'm not a reader. I don't like books. When I was young, honestly, all the way through my teenage years, like all I did was, you know, read books. So, do you have a would you rather, Trey?
Alright, so yeah, for this would you rather, it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna give you a hypothetical football scenario. This was given to me by AI. I asked AI to give me a hypothetical football scenario, and this is what it gives. So Shane and the rest of the chat, I'm putting you as the coaches in this scenario. So it's the AFC Championship game. Your team is a number 2 seed facing the number 1 seed on the road. The clock is ticking down to 22 seconds in the fourth quarter. The opposing team is leading 24 to 21, and we have the ball at the opponent's 30-yard line. It is fourth down and 2. The team has a phenomenal veteran kicker who is perfect from inside the 40-yard line, but the weather is cold and a light snow is falling. If you kick the field goal, you tie the game and likely go to overtime against a tough opponent. If you go for the first down and fail, the game is immediately over. If you succeed, you have at least one shot, possibly two, at the end zone to win. Would you kick the field goal and try to send the game to overtime, or would you go for the first down?
Oh man, I'd kick the field goal, bro. Honestly, I'd kick the field goal and try to go to OT and win it there.
Alright, so Shane's gonna go with the field goal. I would probably, like, if it was Madden, like, this is a lot different, because if it was Madden, it would depend on how I'm playing it, but I would probably go with the overtime. But I think if we're talking about, like, a real life, like, NFL type scenario, the weather definitely factors in. And, like, it's raining and it's snowing, but based on the background of this hypothetical scenario, and you saying that we have a veteran that's perfect from like the 22-yard line, I would say in this situation I wouldn't, because even if you convert the first down, it's like, okay, you got the first down, but you're still what, like 25, 20 yards out to try to get a touchdown. It's really not that likely. So did anyone else chime in, Shane?
Trey Jr. said he would go for it. He said risky, risky. That like to me, that is like I just wouldn't do that. Like for me, honestly, Trey Jr.'s got like major cojones. But for me, it's like I would just kick the field goal, bro, and try to go to OT and see how we figure it out there.
All right, I like doing these hypothetical like scenarios, kind of playing the fantasy role, kind of like a head coach and like what we do. So I'm looking forward to doing more of these and more would you rather's in the future. But we've been on for quite some time. This was a good edition of the West Coast Podcast, and I got to give a shout out to my guy Shane for always being here on the podcast. He's definitely a contributor, but I also got to give a shout out to the chat, Rose and Trey Jr. Two podcasts in a row. You guys have been coming in here back to back, which we greatly appreciated, and maybe there's some lurkers too on there that are watching, and we appreciate that as well. So, but we will be back 2 Fridays from now, getting closer to the holiday season and all that, and the NFL is going to tighten, and I'm not sure at what's going to be going on with Madden, Zero Chill is the thing, but it's probably not going to be too crazy until Christmas comes and the presents and stuff and stuff. But with all that being said, I'll throw it back over to Shane if there's anything else he wants to say. Don't know if he's going to be streaming this weekend or what his plans is on that. I'll let him answer that. But yeah, I'll throw it back over to Shane to close us out for another edition of the West Coast Podcast.
Trey, Rose has a would you rather. She says, would you rather be able to know the perfect gift to get everyone every time, or know what gift you're going to get before you open? And then Trey Jr. has one too. So I'll say Rose wrote and said, would you want to know the perfect gift to get everyone every time for someone, or know every gift you're going to get before you open? For that one, I will answer real quick, Trey, and then you can get to it. I would want to know the perfect gift to get somebody every time. I think that'd be money. I love giving gifts. So I think I would choose to know what perfect gift to get for the person every time. What about you, Trey?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you know the person and they're not like I wouldn't be friend like this might sound messed up, but I wouldn't be friends with someone that like is gonna make me guess what they want for Christmas. I'm the kind of person it's like I know you and I've have a relationship with you and I expect I expect you to tell me what it is you want, and I know that's probably taking the thing out of it, but also on the other side, like I still want to be surprised. Like I think that kind of ruins the surprise if I know everything what I'm gonna get. But I don't know. I think for that one, I would probably pick knowing what to get exactly. No.
Okay. Yeah, Trey Jr. says no, the gift to get too. I am just waiting for Trey Jr.'s would you rather. Like Trey Senior and I love this, man. We really love you guys honestly chatting with us like this and like doing the would you rather with us. Like I think it's dope, and I personally enjoy it, and I know Trey Senior enjoys it. So what was yours, Trey Junior? And also Trey Senior. I'm gonna probably stream some Gauntlet this weekend. Probably I won't be here tomorrow because I'm taking the little one to see the dinosaur exhibit and then Chuck E. Cheese, so that'll be a long day. But Sunday I'll probably do some Gauntlet. I don't know if I'll be able to finish. I am just waiting for Trey Jr. to give me the would you rather right now. So that's what I'm waiting on, Trey.
Yep. Cue the Jeopardy music. Dun 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 dun. I should just start playing it on my phone or something, just like play the YouTube file on your phone as we wait for the Would You Rather segment. Would you?
Okay, so he's got it. He says, would you rather hear Baby by Justin Bieber or Red by Taylor Swift for the rest of your life? It's the only song you'll hear for the rest of your life. Would you rather hear Baby by Justin Bieber or Red by Taylor Swift? I would pick Baby because I don't know what Red is by Taylor Swift. So I'd go with Baby by Justin Bieber. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Shane. There's only one of the songs that I've heard before. I haven't heard Taylor Swift. There's only one Taylor Swift song that I actually like. But I actually don't really mind Justin Bieber that much as other people do. So yeah, I'm with you, Shane, on that.
Um, Rose said death is a choice for her. Uh, Trey Jr. hates Justin Bieber. Said Taylor Swift all the way. I mean, honestly, like I have a wide variety of music I like. I'm just like not into like death metal and probably hard rock, but like I think it's more death metal. I get confused with hard rock and death metal. But like I know Justin Bieber some good ones. I've listened to Taylor Swift on some good ones. I listen to a lot of rap, a lot of R&B. I mean, so country. Um, Monica. Rose said Santa Monica by Everclear. I don't like. I'm actually been getting into some like new artists lately, but no. So anyways, you guys, yeah, I will definitely try to stream Sunday. Or maybe I'll come home Saturday night and stream late, but I'm just gonna be honest, it'll probably be Sunday. Um, Trey Senior, you got anything else to say, or do you want me to wrap it up?
No, we can wrap it up again. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Rose and uh, Rose and Trey Jr. and I think Shane texted me and said we got like 4 to 5 people in. So shout out to you guys as well.
All right. Trey Jr. says I need to get my grind back on, man, for real. Um, Bet, bro. You got to, bro. And Rose says later. All right, you guys. We will see you guys 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, which would be December 19th, which will be the Christmas episode. I will be giving away a couple free memberships, or depending on my mood, maybe I'll just give away some $10 PayPal things for the people that have supported me anyways. So like for like Rose, maybe I'll give you like $10. We'll see. Or Trey Jr. We'll see. Maybe both of you will get $10 each, instead of me doing paid subscription. We'll see how I feel on the 19th of December. All right, you guys, I will talk to you guys soon. We appreciate you guys. This was West Coast Podcast. Thank you.